Us. I'm Ari Glazier, along with my partner,
Jackson Neal.
and today we've got a great show for you. We're going to talk about LeBron James' legacy after the last NBA Finals and what the Phillies are going to do at the trade deadline. Jackson, what do you want to start with?
Let's open it up with the Phillies at the trade deadline, because we know this Phillies team, they just lost their second straight, I think it is, against the Padres last night. They lost 4-3 off a Kyle Blank's walk-off, and Jonathan Papelbon blew a save, so I'm thinking that he's one of the players that are going to have to deal at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Jonathan Papelbon, even though he's been struggling lately, he definitely still has some worth in the trade market. One guy I think is definitely open for a trade. Maybe a guy like Jimmy Rollins. He can still go. He's not all that injury prone, but he's not really helping the team at this point. Another move I'd love to see, but I don't know how realistic it is. Ryan Howard at the trade deadline, replace him with Kevin Franzen at first base.
It's hard with this contract, though. Not many teams want to pick up that contract, but the Phillies are willing to pay half his contract and send him away, kind of like what the Angels did with Vernon Wells to the Yankees. He could definitely be a viable trade option for many teams out there. He'd be like the Red Sox with their D8.
Yeah, another guy I think might be open for a trade. Maybe a guy like Cliff Lee. For a team like the St. Louis Cardinals. They've got a great farm system. They've got a lot of prospects to offer us, but they're in the playoff hunt, unlike us, and they could definitely use a guy like Cliff Lee, at least short term. Now we're gonna go for a caller. We've got Bob from Philly.
Hey, I'm a really big fan of your show.
Thanks, Bob. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ryan Howard. You know, everyone says he's really bad, but I really think that's not true. Can you give me your take on him?
He's a player now where he can get the hits. He's changing his approach, which is nice to see. He's hitting more doubles. He's batting more for average because he knows with those bad knees, he cannot drive the ball as far and hit those home runs like he could when he was younger in 2007 or 2006.
See, now, I judge a player like almost as if he was an employee for a business. Think of the Phillies as a business. Ryan Howard is a productive employee, but not as productive as his contract implies. He's not producing as much as we're paying him for producing. Therefore, he's not worth what he's said to be worth. He's way overrated. He can't hit left-handers for the life of him. He strikes out constantly. He can't hit for average whenever there's a shift on him.
But you know what the thing is? He knows the right field shift. He knows that shift because he plays there.
He knows the shift. He can't do anything about it.
And sometimes he hits doubles there.
Thanks for the call. Now we're going to talk about LeBron James' legacy after the NBA Finals. What's your thought on that?
This is LeBron's second title in 4 attempts. Many people are comparing him to Jordan and saying he will never be as good as Jordan because Jordan was perfect 6 for 6 in his titles appearances. What people don't realize is LeBron James took the Cavaliers in 2007 to a title. And he might have gotten swept. He got swept by a great team with Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and a tremendous coach with Greg Popovich. So he might have only won 2 titles, but he got to the finals, which is an accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, what people don't seem to take into account, LeBron James is still young. LeBron James has more titles than Michael Jordan did when he was 28. No one seems to take that into account. LeBron James has a lot of playing to do, and he's just reached the prime of his career. He's the top dog now, undoubtedly, 2 NBA Finals in a row. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to step up and challenge the Heat.
And now he's really starting to improve his game. He can rebound better, he's scoring better, and he's really been a great passer, and that's one of his greatest attributes not many people attribute to him.
His legacy is definitely just starting to grow. And that's going to wrap up our show. Remember, Broad Street Banter is brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Camp. Good night, everybody.